I think it says live.
I gotta do Neil Jacobs. I gotta change the title. We're live,
Oh,
by the way.
I don't even see it on the phone what I'm looking at.
No worries, brother.
I don't care as long as I get to see your pretty face.
Yeah, no worries. Well, what's going on, everybody? Bitcoin Chris checking in once again. Happy Hump Day, happy Wednesday, and I have another special guest with us here today. A good friend of mine. His name is Neil. He was actually with me every single day on Clubhouse back in 2020 to 2022, on the Swan Clubhouse. I forgot the name of the house.
Cafe Bitcoin.
Cafe Bitcoin. Every morning, he was actually up before me, just opening up the room, and doing his thing. So before we get started, make sure you go to swanbitcoin.com/Bitcoin Chris. Get your $10 free Bitcoin. Set up your automatic DCA. Make sure you stack sats no matter the price, because in 2 years, 3 years, 4 years, 10 years, you're going to be happy that you did. The second thing I wanted to let you guys know about is the sponsor today, Color. You want to know how I have such beautiful hair, guys? You guys want to know how I got this beautiful hair? It's Color. This is for men and women, but women usually take collagen, especially if you're older. That protein, you start to lose that protein after a certain age. So if you guys want to go to www.colorpop.com, and you guys can get 35% off by using the promo code 35. So if you guys are interested in that, make sure you go ahead and check that out. With that being said, Neil, what's going on with your brother?
Oh, as I was telling you before, I'm super busy. A lot of people don't know this about me, but I do have a fiat job. I am a CPA, so I'm busy with that. It's tax season. Yeah, I'm just busy shit posting online in the Bitcoin Twitterverse.
Absolutely. No problem at all. Hey, you got to get your money, right? Fiat job is better than no job, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Excellent. Excellent.
So yeah, and I also go ahead, you go.
No, go ahead. Go ahead. I didn't mean to interrupt you.
No, and I also some people know that follow me. Um, I'm involved with a merch company, FOMO21. So you just go to FOMO21.com, and it's basically become like a passion project for me because I feel like I get to. It's it's Bitcoin only apparel, and I feel like I get to put memes into real life, and I think that's pretty awesome. So
Absolutely. Make sure you guys go check that out. I'll also leave a link in the description, in the bio on YouTube. So make sure you hit that like, make sure you subscribe, make sure you share. And what we're going to do, we're just going to talk a little bit about Neil and where you're from and how you got started into Bitcoin. And we'll just start with that at first, man. Where are you from originally, and how did you get into Bitcoin?
yeah, I'm from Florida originally. Um, Spent most of my adult life in New York City. How did I get into Bitcoin? In 2013, so I'm not 100% sure on the story, but I'm pretty sure it goes like this: that I was talking with a friend of mine, and he told me about Bitcoin, and he told me he was using it to buy drugs. So I was like, oh, that's interesting. So I was like, what is this Bitcoin stuff? So I opened up a Coinbase account, bought some Bitcoin in 2013, under 20 bucks for each Bitcoin. I think I first bought like two or two and a half
Hold on, you
Bitcoin.
said 2013?
Yeah,
Wow. How much was Bitcoin back then? I don't even remember. What, 50 bucks?
120 bucks when
120
I
bucks?
bought it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wow.
I mean, it in that was in like August or September, I think, and then in November it like had it this crazy like blow off top at 1200, which now that seems like forever
Crazy.
ago. But I didn't understand Bitcoin back then. I was just doing, oh, I thought this thing is cool. I sold it all, um, and then didn't really get back into Bitcoin until the end of 2015. Um, and then 2016, but then I started trading because all the shit coins were really starting to um, come about. And yeah, I learned valuable lessons. I would probably have so much more Bitcoin today, three, four, or five times as much, if I just didn't trade. It's not my thing. Um, just buying and holding. To me, that's like the right strategy, especially once you kind of understand or kind of have a thesis on where Bitcoin could go. But anyways, end of or beginning of 2018, I'm like, I'm done with this Bitcoin crypto stuff. Because at that time, to me, there wasn't even a difference. I didn't understand it still. I did know that like Bitcoin was the king at the time, but I didn't really understand why. And then end of 2019, I looked at Bitcoin again, started listening to some podcasts, and I was like, holy shit, I completely like, how did I miss the boat on this? I was like, you gotta be kidding me. And all of a sudden, like I started putting a little money into it and then more and more. And then you realize, holy shit, like my whole life's in Bitcoin now, because once you understand it, you're like, I need to get more of it. It becomes, I don't know if it's an addiction, but you always feel like you need to get more sats. And yeah, so I started being public facing on Twitter in early 2020. Got noticed by some people in the Bitcoin space, and like, oh, Neil, why don't you do this for us? Or Neil, why don't you do this? And all these opportunities started just popping up.
Awesome. So you got back in 2018. First got into it in 2013. Wow. And then you got back into it in 2018. What made
Well,
you
nah, I got back in like 2015 and 16 and
trade it?
17 and 18, and then I was like, I'm done with this, and then got back in it and like end of 2019, early 2020.
I can
But I was still holding Bitcoin in 2018 and 2019. I just like didn't even care about it. It was just like sitting on a hardware wallet, you know, like that was it.
absolutely. I can relate to the trading aspect as well. Because most people don't know how to set. It's really about proper risk management, right? And a lot of people don't know about the risk management. Some people just trade, and once you see you can do 100x or 50x or 20x, and you don't have a stop loss set, and you're just winging it, right? Like you will liquidate your bag, right? And then you have no money, and that can definitely piss you off and definitely turn you away from trading and the whole space in general. So I can relate to that.
Yeah, and if you have a full-time job, like to also be a trader, like you need to be a that needs to be a full-time job.
Absolutely.
And 90% of people who go into trading full-time probably aren't going to do that well. At least they're not going to outperform the market just like sitting. And it's a lot of stress. I remember at the peak of my like degeneracy, I was trading so much that I felt nauseous one time. Like, and I'm like, I'm done with this shit. So. Yeah.
Well, no worries, man. Some people trade. At least you're smart enough to know, because some people still trade after they lose their money, and they keep losing their money, and they keep losing their money, and they keep losing their money. At least you're smart enough and wise enough to be like, all right, I'm gonna stop and just accumulate Bitcoin now that you've learned more about it. So, who were your first? Who was the first person that you heard talk about it? Because you said you were listening to some podcasts and you started to listen and learn more about it. Who was the first? Who was your gateway drug to Bitcoin or the orange pill?
I don't know if there was one necessarily. I definitely in 2013 I might have like saw a few things. Um, I don't really remember. Maybe I saw some like Andreas Antonopoulos videos. He was around Max Kaiser, Turdemeester, but I didn't. Those names, like I didn't even like know them to memory at that point. But I might have like seen some things. It really wasn't until 2019 that I really started observing things more. Bitcoin Tina had a very big impact on me. He did a podcast at the end of 2019 with CK over at Bitcoin Magazine, and it just every time I listened to it, I smashed by more Bitcoin. Every time I listened to it, I allocated more and more, and I re-listened to it over and over, and I'm like, holy shit, holy shit, holy shit, every time. Um, and yeah, then I just consumed everything. Then it's like I can't get enough. And I read Jeff Booth's book in early 2020, and then COVID happened, and it kind of reaffirmed everything he was talking about in his book, and a lot of reasons why Bitcoin's so important, right? They just like printed a ton of money. So the stars kind of aligned for me. I not only do I rationally like or have come to a logical conclusion in my head that Bitcoin will be a global money one day. but I also feel spiritually connected because you start in this in 2013, you don't get it, and then it gets brought back up in your face in 2015. You still don't get it. You don't get it, and then I'm like, I'm done with this, and then like something pulls you back in. It's basically the universe like telling me, you stupid idiot, like focus, clear your mind, understand what's going on. So I just feel like this is my destiny to be here. Maybe that's arrogant. Maybe you know we're a speck in time of the universe, but I just feel like I have to see this Bitcoin go to zero or infinity. Like there's no in between for me at this point. So
Awesome, awesome.
yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I can relate as well, and I can understand. I have those comparisons to like God as well. Like it has those aspects of God. In the Satoshi white paper, because I always say we're going to spread the gospel, right, of Satoshi and Bitcoin, right, and it definitely changes your mindset. It changes you not only mentally, but it can also change you spiritually, right, like you were saying. So I can agree and can attest to that. It brings focus into what is important in life, in my opinion. So I can definitely understand what you're saying, and we are only here for a speck of time, especially since you know, time is a vapor, right? And I don't know if you saw, but one of my business partners passed away the other day, and I was with him the other day,
Oh, I'm
the
so
day of.
sorry.
Yeah,
I think I saw you post something. That's awful.
yeah, man, it's crazy because life. He was here. You're here one day, and then you're gone the next day. So it's like those little things. Like we take so many things for granted. That I've been posting a lot on my YouTube channel about just like being grateful and just being happy that you have a roof over your head. Right? We have running water. We have air. We can breathe. We have fingers. Right? We can see. We can hear. We can taste. Like those little
That's
things
true.
that we just got to be thankful for. We take a lot of things for granted. As I campaign on, in the clubhouse rooms, right? I used to say all the time, Americans are spoiled rotten, right? And we are. People in other countries aren't as fortunate as us. But it's all about perspective, and so I hear you, man. I feel you 100% on that.
Yeah, I'm not religious. Like there's no organized religion I really follow or belong to. Um, but I do believe there is something spiritual or like universal about this, and call it God, call it the universe, call it some energy force. I don't really care, whatever like works for people. I'm totally like do your own thing. I just feel like there's something about Bitcoin that pulls me to it, and it's like I just like I said, I'm either going down with the ship or riding into the sunset. There's no, and so many good things have happened to me, um, as a result of being in the Bitcoin space. And I'm not
Absolutely,
even talking about monetarily. I'm just talking about making friends, the networking, the opportunities, the experiences. If you would have told me this only like 3 or 4 years ago, I would have said you're fucking crazy. You know,
absolutely, absolutely,
yeah.
man. The people.
I consider myself just like a Bitcoiner, a pleb. I know like some other people don't, because your follower count starts going up, and it's like, oh my god, who the hell does Neil think he is, or whatever, right? But I'm just here for the ride, like everybody else.
I mean, I can attest to that as well, man. I mean, back in the day, I've always had a decent following, but I feel like a lot more. I've been more connected with the Bitcoiners. I feel like I've met a lot of people that are super cool that I can relate with. I met you. I met Corey. I met Shelly. I met British. I met so many countless people that I just love. You guys are like family to me. Even though we haven't spoken in a pretty long time. I had to take a hiatus off of Clubhouse. Because we were on there every day, like crazy.
That's a lot.
It is, man. It is. And I was telling Zay, Bitcoin Zay, in the live stream yesterday, man, that the hiatus was necessary, because of all that time that we spent. And it's we did so much work, but I feel like it's still not enough, because even Max Kaiser has been telling everybody since 2010, 2011, 2012, since then, and he's still out here preaching the gospel, right, of Satoshi, and there's still so many people that have no clue and have no idea what Bitcoin is and could frankly care less, So unfortunately, I feel like sometimes our message goes and it falls on deaf ears, but then you have things happen like the bank failures, right? And then you have Silvergate shutting down, and everybody that's like I feel like a lot of the consumers and your everyday Americans that are just like working your 9 to 5 job, they could care less. They don't really care because again, we're spoiled, right? And they don't need Bitcoin. But you go to Africa, you go to Venezuela, they need Bitcoin. So I'm just so thankful for all the people that I met and all the knowledge that I have. Without Clubhouse, I wouldn't have been able to actually talk and interact with Max and Stacy. They're like I watched them for years, and to actually be able to talk to them and become friends with them, it's priceless. I love Corey. Corey's so dope. He brought me on the Swan, and just being a part of the team and just helping onboard and educate people. Spending those hours, on Clubhouse is priceless to me. But it's a process, right? You got to enjoy the process. And we used to always slam dunk on people and just talk talk crazy shit and just throw people in the gulag. I had so much fun. It was so much fun, and I loved it, man. And I'm glad that I was able to meet you as well, man. You're such a good person, man, and you did so much work as well, man.
Thank you. Yeah, that I appreciate that, and that really that 2021 year of Clubhouse will be like something special that only the people that were there could really understand it. Um, and Clubhouse, for whatever reason, it's kind of like a zombie company. Like the people who run it, I don't think they're doing like they didn't do that good of a job, obviously, but it was good times. And just to go back on what you were saying before, I don't think it does fall on deaf ears with some people, but there's so many other people who they take the orange pill, right? And it's because of you, and that's the most um, rewarding and sometimes terrifying situation, because we know how crazy this is and how volatile the price of Bitcoin is, and a lot of people, they don't actually build the conviction before they take a sizable position, and then they come out on the wrong end of it because they can't hodl. But yeah, I've been to conferences. People walk up to me and like thank me, and I'm like, I'm just speaking my truth and what I believe. You have to make your own choice and build your own conviction. Because when the price of Bitcoin goes down 70%, which I definitely said this to people a year ago, now it did, right? It went down like 70+%. I'm not going to be there to hold your hand. I'm not like you're on your own. You're an adult. You got to make decisions. I just know for me, like I said, I'm seeing this till the end.
Yeah, I want to touch on something you said that people come up to you and say thank you. And that reminds me of when I went down when we were at the Bitcoin conference. Man, that conference was so dope. And like you said, I feel like the people that were on Clubhouse and that energy and that vibe, when Bitcoin was going from 20,000 to 69,000, that energy was crazy. And everybody that got in, I smash bought at like 60,000. I bought $1,000, posted it, it's on Twitter, and I telling everybody. And then right after that, it went down. That doesn't stop my conviction. I was in Bitcoin, it was 3 grand, so I'm used to it. Went to 10 grand and back down to 4 grand, 3 grand. So I'm used to that. And as I was talking to Bitcoin Zay yesterday, it's a difference between people being traders and people that are looking to invest. If you're looking to invest, this is a long term goal, right? So you shouldn't even be concerned about the volatility if you're looking to invest, because you're looking at the long term. So if you're buying Bitcoin at 69,000, and I did the same thing, right? I smash bought at 69,000. I don't care. More sats for me. But now that it came down to 15 grand, yeah, it hits you. It hurts it to look at the money value. But when you understand what you have, you understand that Bitcoin is priceless because of what you're able to do and what it empowers people to do all over the planet. It doesn't matter your race, your religion, your color. It doesn't matter about any of that stuff. Anybody in the world can buy Bitcoin just by downloading the wallet, right? So it's that powerful, and in my opinion, Bitcoin is priceless because of that. Like you said, to infinity. And when I was down in Miami for the Bitcoin conference, excuse me, I was with someone, and we were walking down the street, right? And I was just talking, right? We were down at I think we are down by the W, um, where a lot of people were, and I was just talking, right? And some random girl walks by, and she's like, "Bitcoin Chris," and I was like, "Yeah." I was like, "How do you know?" She's like, "Your voice," because we're sitting on Clubhouse all day She recognized me by my voice, bro, and I'll never forget that, bro. She said, "Because of your voice, I knew it was you," and that just shows you the power of networking and being on these platforms. And people recognize me by my voice, not even by how I look, by my voice, which is so powerful to me, man. And when you said that, I just had to make sure I bring that story up because that's powerful, you know.
Yeah. Yeah, no, it's crazy when people say things like you changed. I had someone say it changed my life. Like it's like no, I didn't. Like this, you did that. Nothing to do with me. So yeah, it's cool. It's fun, and I I hope that we've gone through the toughest part of this bear market, and we've had a nice little pump from the beginning of the year. I think we started the year like 16, 17,000 or around 30,000 right now. It's a good feeling. It's a good feeling to go up.
Yeah,
But it does feel like we are at the then they fight you stage, or at least at the beginning of it. There seems like it seems like we're getting somewhere, but it's going to be a bumpy ride.
yeah. What do you think is going to be what do you think is the main like fighting or talking point that they're going to use besides energy usage? Because that's a non-starter. But what do you think they're going to do? What do you think their fight? What do you think their tools are going to be to justify fighting against Bitcoin?
I think the biggest threat is some sort of like disaster or catastrophe happens in the United States and they find a way to, blame Bitcoin or Bitcoiners for it. And they're able to convince the public that it's Bitcoin's fault or Bitcoiners' fault, right? I think a social attack has always been the greatest threat because the network's super robust, strongest computer network in human history. Nothing's going to stop it. It's about the people at this point. Um, it could be rocky. It could be a war. I already think we're in a war. We've been in a war with all the shitcoiners and crypto people, but it looks like their days are numbered. And then I think it's just a war with the no coiners. That's why getting so many people into Bitcoin and adopting Bitcoin is so important because it will create a moat and an army of people that won't put up with the government or anyone that the bankers overreaching and trying to squash this.
Yeah, um, I agree. It's a lot to unpack, right? Because there's a lot of things they can say and do, but I feel like because we're such a small, super super small percentage of the population is actually into Bitcoin, they can try to run with that narrative, but I think a lot of people are already like skeptical because they don't do their research, they don't read, and they don't really understand the power and what it actually is. So maybe those people can fall for the okey doke, but a lot of the wealthy people, and I don't think it's going to work because of the wealthy people. The people with money, right? Michael Saylor, Bank of America, investing in Michael Saylor's company because they understand what's going on. As I was saying with Bitcoin Day yesterday, they know what's going on. They're gonna create the collapse, and they're gonna introduce the CBDC. Now, that's just my opinion. However, our government is known for doing stuff like that, So um, I think that Elizabeth Warren, the talking heads, right? They're going to be able to say one thing and stir up the I just call them sheep. Stir up the sheep, right? The people that don't know better. And if they rile them up enough, it could cause some type of backlash. But at the end of the day, it's not going to work. Bitcoin is censorship resistant. Bitcoin is not controlled by anybody. So you can talk and you can cry, you can complain all you want. But with all the corporations that have Bitcoin on their balance sheet, right? With the Riot public traded company here, and they're mining Bitcoin. We got Mara, we got we got all these companies, Bitto, that actually have Bitcoin, right? And not even to mention the people that own Bitcoin or have it on their balance sheet, or people that own Bitcoin that are not even telling us, right? You think they're gonna allow? You think it's the money? The money talks, right? And especially in the government, right? So if they have money, they're the ones who influence the politicians, influence the laws, influence decisions in the higher up. So and if they own it and they have a say so, I don't think they're gonna allow Bitcoin to be banned or anything like that. However, there's always going to be a fight. But that's just my thoughts on it, man. Those are my two satoshis about that, man.
Yeah, it's funny. My politics, I don't really talk about politics ever. I used to be very liberal, and now I just consider myself nothing. Um, and it's really a shame because people like Elizabeth Warren, they say they're fighting for like the common man and that they want all these things. Like Bitcoin is for the common man. It is so that it allows meritocracy to succeed, not just being close to the money printer or having wealth already, right? No one could dilute your money when it is a scarce, finite money. So you think someone like her should be for that. Um, it's really a shame
It's an eye
because
opener. It shows you
yeah, and
exactly where they are.
yeah, and I don't know if it's ignorance or malice or both, um, but I really don't trust any politician anymore. Um, I just don't think they're that bright or intelligent. It's usually people behind the scenes that are like the puppeteers,
It's
whether
their
it's
donors. The puppeteers are their donors. Whoever's
yeah,
doing the
they're
above.
donors. You have other people that are behind the scenes in politics who are the real ones making the decisions, the lobbyists, the donors, big corporations, oligarchs, whatever, name your person. But the politicians are just like faces here starting to convince the public. But all they're trying to do is please their donors in the end. Even the ones like all of them, they're all like that. I because in order to because the incentive structure of the fiat system is so broken, in order to move up politically, you need to like compromise on your values and on what you believe, or else you're done. Because someone else is willing to compromise on their beliefs and um, get farther in the system.
Yeah, you won't be.
That's the problem.
Yeah, exactly. Morals,
And
right?
and and that's why I kind of stopped with politics because if this money is the way we communicate in society with each other, we communicate value. you know um, Neil, I want you to I don't know, repair this bike for me. I value you and your time at this amount of money. But if the money's broken, then everyone's speaking a different language when it comes to value. um, if I said to you, how much is a slice of pizza, like if I asked 100 people to give me down to the penny, like everyone would give me like slightly different answers because the measuring stick is messed up. That might not be the best example. Um, but my point is, how am I going to argue about politics and ideology if we're not even communicating with each other in the same language in the first place?
I agree. I agree. I'm not into politics either. I understand that MSM, mainstream media, MSNBC, CNN, or Fox, all of them. Yeah, I understand that
They
they're
all
there.
have their agendas.
Yeah, exactly. They got their own agenda, and it's to divide us, and they do a great job at that. They do an excellent job at dividing people. They do an excellent job at stirring up emotions, right? And whether it's racial tensions, whether it's something going on with like we were just mentioning, Democrat versus Republican, whether it's the rich versus the poor. Well, it's supposed to be rich versus poor, but it's really whatever they want to spin it as, right? Is how they're going to spin it. So we just gotta do what's best for our families, and do what's best for us as an individual. I believe in freedom. I believe in being a critical thinker. Some people don't read or critically think, right? Take Before you answer a question or before you think about doing something, take a minute. Take 30 seconds and think to yourself, Does this make sense? Like the masks, for instance. Like you can go into a restaurant, you got to put on your mask, but as soon as you sit down, you got to take off your mask. Like it's just like common sense stuff, that doesn't make sense. That doesn't make sense no matter who you are, where you are. Like that doesn't make sense. You can go on a plane, wear the mask, but you have to put on your mask. You can take off your mask to eat and drink, but you got to put it back on when you're done eating and drink. It's like common sense things like that. I traveled all throughout 2020 when they said don't travel, when they were scared, everybody was scared. I traveled, I went to Texas, I went to Cancun, I went to LA. I was traveling all over the place when everything was shut down, because I wasn't scared, because I understood that they're just trying to scare you and they're trying to control us, and the way they do control us is through fear.
Yeah, at first I didn't know. Like I kind of was just very cautious.
At first,
At
I was
first,
scared. At first, they
yeah.
scared me. I was scared.
Well, I guess I guess scared is the right word, but at first it seemed like no one was taking it seriously. So I was taking it extra seriously because I'm like a contrarian. If everyone else is saying nothing's gonna happen, I'm like, oh shit, like shit's about to go down. And it went down. And then once it got like they got so serious, I'm like, this is ridiculous too. Like basically, you're gonna be pretty good if in life, not always. Um, just going against what like the majority thinks. Go, like herd mentality, man. You go against what the and that's why I feel so. That's another reason why I feel so confident about Bitcoin, is because we're a small minority, and within that minority, though, are a lot of brilliant, bright people,
Yeah,
like off the charts. Yeah, there's that meme, that bell curve meme, that like it's the really dumb people that get into Bitcoin and the really smart people, right? And there's definitely some truth to that, but there are brilliant people in this space. Um, but knowing that we're still such a small minority of people who actually get it makes me super bullish, super confident about Bitcoin succeeding in the long run.
absolutely. I think a great analogy is when people say it's like the internet, right? It's like being late to the internet, or being early to the internet, I should say, or being early to an Apple stock. Even though this is much more, this is nothing like a stock. So please don't. And people call Bitcoin a stock. Come on, guys. Come on, guys. Do your research. Please stop calling Bitcoin a stock.
Well,
Uh,
they just don't understand.
yeah. And I used to be a little bit. I'm trying to be a little bit more nicer. As I get older, trying to be a little bit more nice. But I still like to keep it spicy. But we're not gonna. I don't, do you like hot sauce, bro? Do you like hot sauce, man?
No, it's fun. It's so funny because I was talking about spicy foods today at lunch. Because,
Oh,
anyways, I don't. I'm not a spicy
yeah.
person.
So we're gonna keep it mild. We're not gonna do any spicy talk today. Today.
It's too funny. I mean, yeah, it's funny.
It is funny, man. Do you still keep in contact with anybody from Clubhouse? I'm sure you do, but who is your favorite? So, do you keep in contact with anybody from Clubhouse? That's the first question. Second question is, who is your favorite personality or favorite person that you met on Clubhouse? Give me a couple that you like. Give me like three, the top three.
Well, obviously Bitcoin Tina, and him and I have become very good friends. Um, he's kind of persona non grata in the Bitcoin community right now because he's got like super bearish. Still long term pretty bullish, but bearish in the short term. But he was really an inspiration for me, and I consider him like a mentor. And I mean, I didn't meet him through Clubhouse. I mean, I guess I did, but I already listened to him a lot
Yeah, so
before
that one
actually
count.
interacting with him.
Yeah, that
So
one
that
count.
doesn't count.
No, that don't
But that
count.
was the first time I actually talked with him. So to me,
Okay,
that kind of counts.
okay, okay.
And the next one is going to be like a complete curveball. You're not even going to guess
Yeah,
who it is.
yeah, I'm
You
not.
give me a guess.
Um, I would say American Huddle.
No, although I love American Huddle and I consider myself friends with him. Um, it's actually Hillary, Hillary Howard.
Oh,
Hillary and I, Hillary's, most people don't know who Hillary is because she's not public in the Bitcoin community and she got banned from Clubhouse in 2021. But me and Hillary just became like friends. I've Um, I went with her to Mexico once. Her and I like took a road trip from LA to Mexico. It's a very weird friendship in terms of our personalities, but we just gel really well. So
Yeah, she's
yeah,
cool.
Hillary.
She was a little bit on the spicy side, but she's
Oh,
super
oh,
cool.
she is spicy.
Very
And I
spicy.
told you I can't even handle spicy. No, she's crazy. She'll tell you she's crazy. She's freaking crazy. But there's something about Hillary, and yeah, I wish her the best. I don't even know what she's up. She did.
I
Well,
actually saw her on. I was going through my contacts on Instagram, and I saw her on Instagram. She just got married, bro.
yeah, I didn't. Yeah, I wasn't gonna say it, but now that you said it, because I don't know
I
if she
mean,
wants it. But I guess if you post it on Instagram,
yeah,
it's
it's on
public.
this public.
Yeah.
Public.
No. So she's been so busy, and she moved in with her now husband, and then she got a new job, and then she got married. So like her and I haven't like talked much, but um, she's a character and has a special place in my heart. However crazy and weird that seems to people, they'd be
No,
like Neil and Hillary are friends.
no. Man, people, you gotta, and that's what I've been saying in my videos, man. You have to love people. We gotta stop judging people just because you don't vibe or agree with what they're saying or doing at one time. You're never going to agree with 100% with anybody, first and foremost. Second of all, you have no idea what a person's been through. And third of all, I mean, imagine if you made a mistake, right? And then you're judged based on that mistake. And people grow, people learn. Like, stop judging people and holding things over their heads like they don't grow. Like, people have to make mistakes to grow and to learn. So, I mean, like I said, I'm cool with Hillary. I fucks with Hillary. I fuck with everybody. Unless you're like evil. If you're evil, then I can't vibe with you. But if you cool, you got a good heart, you're a good person. Hey, Bitcoin Chris is here for you.
Yeah, and I see a lot of the stuff you post on like Instagram and stuff, and I like it. You're a very like spiritual guy. Um, it's you never know what people are going through, and you said you don't like mess with people who are evil, but everyone kind of falls on a spectrum of like evil to good, and we all go through things, and we tend to judge other people on their actions, but we judge ourselves on our intentions. So just because, someone acts a certain way doesn't necessarily mean they like intend harm. I mean, sometimes it's very black and white, but most of the time, like humans are very complex and things are very nuanced. And I just try to not publicly judge people. We all have thoughts that go through our heads, right? We're human,
Absolutely.
like this person
Yeah,
sucks or this, but it's like, I'm not going to really I'm more observant. I think as I've gone through my own personal struggles in life, just realized that life is difficult and you just gotta let go.
absolutely. Hey, it means a lot to hear that you say that you see my posts and that you like them. Because
Oh, I love them. I love when you put the inspirational stuff. You know, and sometimes I'll see a post from you or somebody else, and I'm not like in the best of mood, and it's like, you know what? It's a good pick me up sometimes, and I try to post stuff, not as maybe frequently as someone like you or other people, but you never know who needs to hear those words at that time, and some people might see them and think, oh, this person like they think they're some like I don't know spiritual guru,
no, not at
but
all. Not,
no, but honestly, it's just it's good to hear it from someone else.
absolutely. To be honest with you, and I'm honest. I'm an honest person. A lot of those messages are for me, and a lot of those things are for me to hear and for me to see because I resonate with those things, and because I do, because like you said, there's someone that needed to hear that message just as much as I needed to see that and hear that message. So that's why I posted. I don't care about the likes. I don't care about anything like that. I share it because I wanted to share it, and it's on my heart to share it because again, I've been going through a lot of stuff lately. So those things not only help me out. I'm glad it helps you out, and I'm sure if me and you feel this way, there's billions of people on this planet, right? So there's got to be a ton of other people that feel the same way. So that's really the reason why I post that stuff. And I try to mix that in with humor and mix that in with my Bitcoin stuff and mix that in with my business credit because I help people out with their credit. I try to mix it all up because, like you said, everybody's different, and humans are so complex. You can't just be one thing. Everybody tries to put everybody into a box of one thing. It's like, no, that's not how life is. So like I said, it means a lot for you to say that because a lot of people um, they'll see it, but they don't say anything. So for you to just say something, it means a lot.
No, for sure. Sometimes I'll like it. Sometimes I'll send it to other people. From you, from but yeah, you do it more than most people I follow. But some people I follow, they post stuff and it resonates with me. And you're right, like what you were saying that you post for yourself. Sometimes I'll post something and it's really what I'm going through, but I just want to like put it out there because I think like I connected to it, and it would be cool if maybe someone else could. It is true. A lot of the times when I post something, it's usually something I'm going through.
Absolutely.
Um, but yeah, just be what I would say, especially the Bitcoin community, just kind of be like gentler on other people. Um, there's a lot of judgment, and I think Bitcoiners, because they um, discovered Bitcoin in their own lives and they're so confident about where it goes, and the rest of society doesn't see it or is anti it, they then have this visceral reaction to everything because they think they must be right about everything if society is so wrong about Bitcoin. And, you know, you just be a little easier with people, I've had to learn that myself over time.
Absolutely, and that's why I said earlier. It's like I'm learning to be a little bit more, gentler and kind to people because like I said, we used to dunk on people and we used to laugh, but like you said, some people just don't know. So you got to be knowledge. You got to be aware and conscious that hey, not everybody is as smart as you. Some people may be smarter than you, and just because you have a PhD or a master's or a bachelor's doesn't mean that they're smarter than you, and vice versa. So everybody knows something. You can always learn from somebody as well. So I always try to keep that in mind. It's like, okay, I may be knowledgeable in one subject, but I'm not knowledgeable in all subjects. So you can always learn from somebody. And I actually posted a clip of me ripping up that $100 bill, and somebody was like, "Oh, why'd you rip up the $100 bill?" And I'm like, it's $100. First and foremost, they print money out of thin air. So why are you worried about fake money that they print out of thin air? First and foremost. Second of all, I give all the time. I've given Bitcoin out of my own pocket on Clubhouse for those 2 years, right? On Clubhouse on Cafe Bitcoin. Not to mention that when I was in Mexico, I was in Mexico on Isla de Mujeres, right? And I'm walking down the street and some dude I had on this. It wasn't real Versace. It's like a Versace looking shirt. It wasn't Versace, but some dude was like, "I love your shirt," right? And I literally like I'm a giving person. I give all the time. Homeless people, kids. I'm going to an event on next weekend where they're giving back to kids. I try to make sure that I'm giving back all the time because that's just who I am as an individual. But I literally took off the shirt off my back in Mexico and gave it to the dude that liked my shirt because he's never going to be able to like to get that type of shirt where he's at. So it just like it made me so mad that he would even say anything. And like, why are you worried about a grown man and what I'm doing? Worry about yourself. But it just it irks me sometimes when people, like I said, he doesn't really know me, I guess, but he just saw the clip of me ripping up $100 bill. I guess it triggered him. But you know, money's printed out of thin air, guys. Like, come
But
on.
but that's a lot of sats you could have got there.
I got enough. Bitcoin ain't going nowhere, man. I can get more sats. You dig?
No, well, let me tell you something. Next time you're thinking about ripping up $100 bill, instead put it in an envelope, and I'll give you my address, and you can send it to me.
Just for saying that, I'll just rip a dollar bill this time. Okay.
No, okay, $1. You can do $1.
Next, this is for
I
you.
I
This is trash.
I think technically it's illegal to rip up money.
Hey, come get
So
me. Come get me. Come get me. This is trash. Buy some
you
Bitcoin.
know it's interesting. You're allowed to legally write on money, but you can't. You're not allowed to destroy it. Isn't that interesting?
It is. It
Because well, in the US, I think technically it's considered like protected under the First Amendment to write on money, like your thoughts, your opinions, stuff like that. But to destroy the money is not protected under the First Amendment. But I
Go
won't.
ahead
I'm not
and
going to report you
yeah, no
to.
worries.
I'm
All
not
right,
going to
all
report you to Elizabeth Warren. Don't worry.
right. They're gonna have to take me down. They're gonna have to get an army to come take me down. All right. Um,
Right. Too
Forgot what I
funny.
was gonna say. Let's see. What is your all right? So for normal, so you're a CPA, right? So for everyday normal people, what is your best and easiest way to explain what Bitcoin is? There, that you think would be the best way to. What do you think is the best way to explain it to them, and what do you think is the best way to orange pill people, everyday normal people?
Well, I would say it depends on who your audience is, but just generally, I usually start with, sorry,
We're gonna keep it general.
yeah, generally, I start with why do the things you buy go up in price? Like, why, why is it getting more and more expensive to have a college education, but technology is getting better? Shouldn't things get cheaper as technology gets better? And this is a lot of stuff Jeff Booth talks about in his book, The Price of Tomorrow. But it's just logical sense. As technology gets greater, costs should go down, but things are going up. Now, there's definitely things in economies, supply and demand issues, right? Um, certain natural disasters could cause a drought somewhere and there's a supply shortage of, I don't know, potatoes and the price goes up. Okay, like that's like a normal supply demand thing, but like why over time are things getting more expensive? And everyone could relate to that. I try not to even talk about Bitcoin um, in the first maybe like 10, 20 minutes I'm talking to someone about Bitcoin. Because usually when someone says I want to understand Bitcoin, they want to sit down and like take 15, 20 minutes. um, I kind of say like, so what is money and how did money like exist in the first place? And I think when you start with those building blocks, people realize, oh, just because things are the way they are now doesn't mean they've always been that way. And if they haven't always been that way, it doesn't mean they have to be like that going forward. And I think once you destroy the myth that things can't change, that a new money can't exist outside of government, people are like, wow, I never thought of it that way. And then you're not really even pitching them. I don't see it as pitching. I'm just explaining what I see and my truths. So just like I said, ex- don't even go to what Bitcoin is right away. Go to not how is the current system negatively affecting people's lives?
I think that's a great way to start.
Because
I
everyone could relate to that. If I just
absolutely.
start talking about Bitcoin, someone who doesn't understand Bitcoin can't relate. If I say your life is getting shittier, what it shouldn't be, they're like, oh yeah, my life.
Why is that? Yeah. Then. Uh-oh. Can you? Okay. There you
Oh,
go.
sorry, I got one of those like flood warnings or tornado warnings that just flashed on my phone. Sorry.
No.
No, if you say, I don't know where I got to cut off, but if you say to someone, you know, why is your life getting worse or why are things getting more expensive? Everyone could relate to that. Everybody, everyone. So, try to relate to people. Don't try to say you need to invest in this, uh, and I don't even really even look at Bitcoin as an investment anymore. I know you said there's traders and then there's investors, but to me there's a third category, and it's maybe some people might call them Bitcoin maximalists. I just think it's right. There is no alternative. This is about building a better world. It is about building a new system. Obviously, I want to get insanely wealthy. And I think because anyone here today, even if you're starting today, can take advantage of that opportunity. Um, but I see this as the only alternative to a better future. It's like being an investment. It doesn't when I want to invest in this. It's like, okay, but like that's not what it's only about for me. This is ideological. It's revolutionary technology.
Absolutely. It's
And I
bigger
you know
than.
you get a lot. you get a lot of hate from like shitcoiners, and oh, you're so narrow-minded. You get from the no coiners, oh, this you're ridiculous. This can never work. Um, but fuck them. You got to believe in your own stuff and your own path. So
Absolutely. I wanted to say that you know, a great example of that is what you mentioned, school, right? Back when you were going to back when our parents went to school, it was much more affordable, right? And now it's ridiculous amount of money. Same thing goes with milk. You ask your mom about milk and soda, right? They used to pay $1 for a pop. That's what they used to call it back in the day, right? Pop, 50 cents, $1. Now it's $3, $4, right, for a soda. What you guys used don't be drinking soda, guys. Soda is bad for you. Do what you want. You're a grown ass adult, but don't be drinking soda. Another thing too, as an example, me and Bitcoin Zay went over as well yesterday is real estate. Like houses were 50 grand. Houses were so cheap. Houses were so cheap back in the day, right? And now they're 300, 400,000, or 50,000, 100,000 back in the day, right? Now they're three, four, $500,000 for a normal house, especially depends on where you live, right? Of course, there's cheaper houses in more rural areas of the country, but nobody wants to live there. Let's keep it 100. Nobody wants to move into the middle of nowhere, even though it is
yeah,
more affordable, But nobody wants to move there. So you're absolutely right. I would say, hey, inflation is real. You don't understand inflation? All right. Well, ask your mom and dad how much their house was when they bought their first house. Ask your mom and dad how much soda was and milk was and groceries were when they were growing up. Ask them how much college tuition was when they were growing up. Ask them how much gas was when they were growing up. And that would be a great way to
I
start.
could ask you, how much was gas when you were growing up? I remember when it was under $1.
It was like $2. Exactly. It was like $2.
Oh,
I
I
don't
remember
remember it
under
being
a
under a
dollar. I
dollar.
must be a little. I must be a little older than you.
I'm 34, but I don't remember it.
I'm a tiny bit older. But.
Yeah, I mean, I don't remember pumping gas or doing any of that stuff.
Well,
Parents.
I definitely didn't pump it, but I can vaguely remember it being under $1. I'm gonna Google it right now. Hold on.
Okay.
When was gas under $1?
What's up to Tony
Uh,
in the chat? Eastside Tony, what's going on, brother? He said he's chilling at his daughter's softball practice. He said, "What's up, Neil?"
oh, what's up? Who is this?
Eastside Tony.
Oh, I've met Eastside Tony at one or two conferences at least. I feel like.
Absolutely.
So I'm looking. It looks like I'm looking on national average gas price per year. 1989, it was at $1, the average, which
Yeah,
means
that's
it
when
could
I.
have in 1995 it was like $1.15, the average. So it probably was under $1 while we were kind of still around at some points.
Fluctuated.
Yeah, cool.
Yeah. So
What
yeah,
else you
man.
got for me?
Um, let's see. Are you going to be at the conference down in Miami?
Yeah, I'm pumped. Are you gonna be there?
I am going to be down in Miami. I'm not going to. I don't know if I'm going to the conference just yet.
Well, what? Why aren't you going? What do you not know? What is it dependent upon? Maybe I could help you out and get you there.
Well, I need a ticket. That's first and foremost.
Okay.
That would be the main ideal. And I mean, at the end of the day, I mean, it's not for me. It's not about going to see those speakers. It's about connecting with other Bitcoiners. So as long as I'm in Miami and I'm there to meet up with everyone that I love and everyone that's a Bitcoiner, we can vibe, chill after the conference. Have a good time. Man, I had such a blast. The first conference I went to, man, it's priceless, bro. I met British Hotto. I met Bitcoin Tina. I met American Hotto. I met Jasmine. I met everybody that we were everybody, bro. I met everybody, man. And so as long as it's those vibes, we went to the W, and we were drinking at the bar, hanging out, and just having a blast, bro. Just and I don't drink too much, but people were super drunk. But I just had a blast, and it's about the vibes. It's about the people for me and hanging out with my fellow Bitcoiners, man.
But
So as
that's
long
what life is for anything. It's about the people. It ends up almost always being about the people. So
absolutely. So
I know there's a lot of Bitcoiners. Oh, I'm not going to conferences. Blah blah blah. Blah. I'm like, you don't even have to go to the actual conference. Go to the events around it. Like, that aren't that expensive, and you just get to hang out with people, and you all share. You have a shared vision of the future in some way that the rest of society has no idea about. So often as a Bitcoiner, you could feel alone and like on an island, and how does no one else see this? And finally, you go to a Bitcoin conference and you're not on an island anymore. You're around people who like they all get it. And it's
And
like,
there's so
whoa,
many different shapes, sizes, colors, and people from all over the world. It's not just it's that's the amazing thing about it.
it's not
And
just
even
white
though,
people.
huh?
It's not just white people.
Isn't I don't know what's wrong with these. I don't know what's wrong with these angry black people online. This one black guy that's angry. I don't know what's wrong with him, man. But I mean, I can understand where he's coming from. Maybe have a couple, maybe have more than one black speaker. Maybe that can, maybe that. But like I said, I could care less. I love everybody. It doesn't matter to me. But some people are clearly upset about that. So, but it's definitely not all
Isai
white.
Tony just wrote, "I want to go to another one of Neil's party." Oh, I guess he was there. I can't even remember. There were so many people. So
You had a
yeah,
party, bro. You had a party, bro.
well, only one ever, and apparently Isai Tony was there. Yeah, now I remember. Um, I was really fortunate. I had like this crazy balcony at the hotel. It was like 800 square feet, like wrap around. I really lucked out. I've never had a hotel room this like nice. And it was a Friday night, and there were these like big parties going on, and I wasn't invited to them. So I'm like, fuck it, I'm gonna throw my own party, and I'm gonna invite whoever wants to come. I told like 5, 10 people, and 80 people ended up showing up. And it was just like anybody, some well-known Bitcoiners, plebs, and I was like, yeah, whatever. I said it got to a point where if guys wanted to show up, I'm like, look, you just got to bring beer, and then you can come in. Like, it was getting kind of crazy, but it was a blast. It was fun.
That's
Oh
good,
yeah,
man.
Eastside's Tony. He came with Pubby and Anders. I'm pretty sure that was before I like kind of knew Pubby and Anders that well, and I kind of was like looking at. I'm like, oh, more guys are friggin' coming in here. Like, but they brought beer, so it was all good. It was all
Oh, good.
good.
Okay, yeah, you gotta. Yeah, I mean, we need more ladies. We need more ladies in the space. You dig?
We need more. We need more everyone in the
Absolutely.
space. I get like, no, it's Tony. You didn't crash the party. You were good. It was, Bitcoins for everyone is so is Neil's hotel room that night. No, we need everyone in the space. I know a lot of people get all like agitated when they're like, oh, like there's this Bitcoin for women group or Bitcoin for Asian people or Black Bitcoin billionaires, right? Like people get all like, why does it have to be about that? Blah blah blah. It's like, who cares? Like if it's gonna bring more people in, let people do it, do them.
Yeah,
What's cool about Bitcoin is you don't have to be a part of anything. You do your own thing and you just stack, or you could choose to be involved with shit. Like, what are you getting so riled up? Just have fun.
yeah.
Just
You
have
guys
fun.
have to remember, we're all like you may be Hispanic, you may be Asian, right? You may be Indian, you may be black, you may be white, right? But guess what? We're human beings. We're all human. And guess what? If there is a black Bitcoin billionaire room, or if there is Bitcoin for women, right, or Bitcoin for men, or Bitcoin for plebs, or whatever it is, the main word there is Bitcoin. So we got to stop focusing on shit that don't matter. And I've never been in the Black Bitcoin Billionaire where they were like, you can't be in here because you're not black. They actually invite and welcome everybody into those spaces. You dig? So it's not like they're saying you can't be in there. So chill, 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 chill. Bitcoin's for everybody. You dig? So we want to cut all that negative and low frequency thinking out. You dig? So Neil, Neil got cut out. So hopefully Neil can come back in here. There he is. There you go.
Am I back? Sorry.
No, it's all good. Neil Bank and Neil's popular phone blowing up. Hey Tony, thanks for sharing, brother. We appreciate you sharing the stream. Appreciate you, Tony. And he's back out. What we'll do while we are getting Neil back on,
Can you hear me? Hello? I can't hear you.
Can you hear me now?
Yes.
All right.
Sorry about that. I'm fucking with my phone and I fucked some shit up here. Now I don't see you. I see a screen, a weird screen.
Yeah, we're looking at a chart. I'm just looking at the Bitcoin price. I'll go ahead and close that. I was going to do that while you were getting your connection back.
Yeah, no, sorry about that. No, yeah, it's funny. I saw Eastside Tony. Oh, now the messages disappeared from me, but I think he said we had all the girls there, so I guess it was pretty good, the party.
Neil, he said Neil had all the girls.
Oh, I had all the girls.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was a crazy night. It was fun though, and I won't be throwing a party this year. I'll just be attending. Oh, actually, there is so there's the toxic happy hour party that's happening on the Thursday night of the conference week, but 2 days earlier, the Tuesday, there's another party um, with that I'm co-hosting actually. It's at the Gale Hotel. And it's like I've shared a link. If you're listening to this, just DM me if you want, if you're interested. I think the tickets are like $50, but if you use the promo code FOMO, you get like $10 off, so it'll be $40. And it was a lot of fun last year. A lot of awesome Bitcoiners showed up last year. Uh, and yeah, so hopefully it'll be a good time this year. There was probably over 100 people last year.
I'm down. I'm definitely down to go. Tony,
Yes, yeah, yeah.
the price of Bitcoin is 29,906.
No,
And
wait. Is he asking the price of Bitcoin or is he asking the price to go to that party?
well, we'll answer both. You answered that one, and I'll answer the price of Bitcoin.
So
On Binance is
yeah,
29,922. So 29,922 on Binance, and then if you're trading on Bybit, it's 29,006.
yeah. And to Tony, he said the Gale is nice. Yeah, the Gale Hotel is really nice. I've been there a few times. The tickets are 50, but if you use the promo code FOMO or it says access code, it's $40. Just type in FOMO.
Cool.
Basically, all you got to ever know in conference and party land is type in the code FOMO, and it will probably get you a discount and help your brother Neil out. That's all.
There you go. There you go. If they need their taxes done, can they hit you
No,
up? No.
no, this is the one thing. It's why like you didn't even know I'm an accountant because I don't like to mix like fiat world and Bitcoin world. For me,
Okay. Okay.
Bitcoin world is fun. I've kind of had some potential opportunities to work in the space, but as soon as you start working for someone, it becomes a job. And I want Bitcoin to stay fun. I don't want to be told, "Oh, we need this by this time." It's like when I want to like shitpost and put out a funny meme or a video, I do it on my time. I'm not saying there's not a job I wouldn't take in the Bitcoin world. It's just it's got to really, really be worth it. And for now, I'm just having a good time. I'm busy with my merch company, FOMO21. If anyone's listening, I should put like a code, like a promo code for anybody listening.
Yeah.
But
Do a
just
Bitcoin.
just
Do
just
Bitcoin
DM. You know
Chris.
what? Just
BTC
DM
Chris is
me.
the Bitcoin code. Is the new
Let
code.
me
All
do it.
right.
Let me do it right now. Hold on. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
All right. I wanted to make sure I didn't like close out again. All right. I'm making the code right now. What
BT
percent off should we? What percent off should we do?
20. I mean, do you want to do 20? I don't know. What do you usually do? I don't
It's
want
up
to.
to you. I'll do it for 24 hours. Do 21%. How
We're in
about that?
2023, so do 23% and do it for 24 hours.
Okay, hold on. We like never do a discount 23%. So I'll do 23%. So only people listening are gonna even know about this.
That's right.
So it just type in BTC Chris, so BTCCHRIS, and that will last until
Tomorrow.
tomorrow at 11:59 p.m.
Oh, 24
So it's a
hours.
little over 24 hours. So like 28 hours. 23% off all products. BTC Chris, just go to FOMO21.com. Chris, I
And you
gotta
know,
send you something. You pick something
no,
out, Chris. Pick out a
I'm
shirt.
gonna. No, you don't gotta send me nothing. I'm gonna buy something. I'm not gonna have you send me anything. I'm gonna
Oh,
buy something.
I'd love to send you something.
Send me. All right, you send me something, but I'm still gonna buy something.
How about this? Place an order, and then for like one of like two shirts or a shirt and a hat or something, and uh, you pay for the cheaper one, and then tell me the other one you want, and I'll add it to the order.
All right, no problem at all. It's fun. What's the website?
FOMO 21. Come on, Chris. It's too easy. You keep forgetting.
Yeah, you know.
Wait, what are you looking at? You got a bunch of girls there? What's going on?
No, I'm looking at the screen because I'm trying to pull up the website. I have two screens. I have my main
Oh,
screen
okay.
here, and then my other screen's over
All
on the
right,
right.
pull up your screen. FOMO 21.
There it is. There it is. There it is, guys. He got some of the dopest gear. Oh, look at this pop up here when you can get 20%. You can get up to spin to get up
Yeah,
to.
but not, like the probabilities on that wheel are normally like 10%. So this 23% is a really good thing. Like most people land on 10%.
This is fire, bro. Let's see if we can make it even bigger. There it is. Make it even bigger.
Call just came in. Can you hear me? Can you
Yep.
hear me?
Yep.
A call just came in. Sorry.
No worries. Oh man, this shirt is fire. Man, you got some
Which
dope
one?
shirts in here, man. There's a bunch of them on here that's fire. I like this Miami one with
Dude,
the.
I've designed I designed that one. I've designed 90% of what you see, probably 95% at this point.
Yeah, guys, make sure you log on right now. Get your 23% off before that sale ends. Even if it does end, make sure you go support Neil because, being a brand in general. I had my own brand, but being a brand in general in the spaces, it can be profitable sometimes. And during the bear market, I'm sure it's probably not as profitable.
Yeah,
However,
oh, yeah, sorry, go ahead.
no, however, is just support Neil. That's all. It's about supporting our fellow Bitcoiners. But go ahead, I didn't mean to cut you off.
No, it's because I saw Isai Tony said, "Do you do all the designs?" So when we first started the company, I knew nothing about graphic design, and we hired someone that like spit out a bunch of designs the first month. But I was kind of getting impatient with the designs, so I'm like, I'm going to teach myself how to do it. So after a month into the company, we fired the graphic designer, and I do all the designs now. So everything, like if you sort like from new to old, the first like 90% of what you see is going to be from me.
I like the vitamin B. That's fire. Yeah, I'm gonna
There's
go.
so many. Yeah,
Yeah, I'm
and you'd
gonna.
be surprised. So right now we have, if you look, there are, let's see,
Oh,
299 t-shirts. At one
yeah,
point, Chris, we had over 500.
yeah.
But
I think.
I had to get rid of a bunch because it's just people get like overwhelmed.
Yeah, I was gonna say. I teach people how to scale their business and whatnot, but sometimes less is more. So I would probably cut it down. You have a lot, so I would definitely probably cut it down even more. But you have a ton of different. These are fire, bro. Only Bitcoin. So only fans, fire, bro.
There's so many. I love that you're first going through this now with me. I never get to see someone experience this live in
Yeah,
real time, so this is nice.
absolutely, man. This is fire. I love the
I
Bitcoin.
could sit on the phone all day. You telling me how good everything is, you know?
Yeah, man. Hey, that's what we're here for. I like the Coca Cola version, the red shirt that you have on in your profile pic is fire as well. Um,
Yeah, that one. It's funny. So I came up with the other one, and a friend of mine came up with the Enjoy Bitcoin Coca-Cola looking one, and that
this
one
one,
does way better than that Always
this
Coca-Cola one,
one.
which is fine. No, that one I came up with.
Okay.
The idea. But yeah, I mean that has sold a little bit too. But that Enjoy Bitcoin one, like people like that one.
Yeah, and yeah, well, let me add this to the cart real quick.
So that one, I luckily that artwork was like free artwork online that someone made. I didn't make that artwork, but someone said like free to use, commercial use, whatever.
Yeah,
And I'm like, this is fucking golden.
yeah.
So yeah, you got to go shopping, man. Twenty
I'm
three
gonna go.
percent discount.
I'm about to go. I'm about to run it up, man. I need some new shirts. I'm usually even now. I'm in this shirt, but usually when people see me, I'm in a nice flannel like half shirts half buttoned up. I'm in Florida, so island boy vibes. Chest hanging out. It's hot. It'd be hot. It's hot down here, man. You can't be wearing shirts, man. You gotta wear. You gotta let the air flow. You dig?
I hear you. What did
So,
Eastside Tony say? Sell me some designs? What does that mean, sell you designs? Do you have your own merch shop, Tony? What are you saying?
Tony, you should be a
I don't know what that means.
15 pages, bro. It's just too many, bro.
You don't have to look through all of them.
No, but I'm saying in general, I want to look through all of
Oh,
them, but it's 15 pages.
look, I'm not even joking. It was close to 30, so
Whew.
it's a lot easier now.
You probably
And
want
some
to.
of them, like I've custom made for people, then I need to just take them down. But sometimes it's what's really funny, and some I have there for like SEO purposes because like certain words are good.
Yo, I like this, and I like the. Okay, Israel. Okay, USA. Okay, Japan.
Well,
I'm
that
like,
that's actually good for SEO stuff because a lot of people will search things in their country like Bitcoin Japan or something, and it like helps, believe it or not.
no, I believe it. Yeah, man. I remember I had Bitcoin. What was my Bitcoin? I forgot my Bitcoin company, and I sold some merch too. But I had to shut that down, man. I just couldn't. I have
It's a
three
it's
businesses right now. I'm just like, it's
it's a
too.
full it ends up it's a big commitment if you really want to like scale it and do it right.
Yeah. Yeah, I seen Corey with the "Say Bitcoin, Say Crypto One More Time" shirt, and I was like, "Yes, fire!"
Yeah, Corey, yeah, got that one. Um, yeah, a lot of people saw him wear it. It's now
Yeah,
one of our best-selling shirts after he wore it.
absolutely, absolutely. If you know about Pulp Fiction, then you know what time it is.
What time is it?
Well, Pulp Fiction. I mean, that's the funniest. That's a funny ass scene in Pulp Fiction. Child of Satoshi, let's go. Oh, I like that one. I go through two more pages here, and I think we're done.
You've had enough.
No, I don't mind, man.
That's a lot.
Sexy skip to you, Otto.
No, I don't know if anyone's bought that shirt.
Yo, go through this, man. When we get off here, any shirts that have not been bought in like the last year,
No, I
just
know. I need to get
get
rid
the
of a
shirts
lot.
off, bro. You need to have like two pages max, 3 pages
Oh
max.
no, no way, no way. I'm not killing off all my babies, dude. You'd be surprised how many different shirts sell. Like,
Okay,
hold on. Let me see. I could kind of tell you really quick just by looking at. Hold on. Stand by.
standing by. No, you got some dope stuff on here, man. Satoshi 2024. That's fire. That's dope. All right, I'm gonna
Yeah,
go.
I wanted a place where like somebody could find a design that works for them, like, and I think we're a good place for that. Let's see.
Yeah, some dope stuff, man. I'm gonna go through and fill my card up. Make sure you guys go and fill your card up as well. You got 24 hours. It's gonna be promo code BTC Chris. Get 23% off. Shout out to me.
Yeah, I'm looking. I think we've sold close to 180 different designs.
Wow.
Yeah, I mean that's over a year. Um, but yeah, so
What's the most popular shirt though?
it's the Do the Math shirt. I don't know. Do you follow Greg Foss at all?
Yeah, I do.
So Greg Foss, you know how he always says like learn math, do the math, and if our best selling shirt is just says do the math, and it has a lot of different math equations on it, and I just kind of like threw it together really quick. It's so funny. Some shirts I make, I'm like, this shirt's not going to do anything, and then people buy it like crazy. And other shirts I put so much effort in, and no
Yeah,
one fucking buys it.
yeah.
I'm like, this is so awesome, but it's awesome to me. So not
Yeah.
everyone's got different tastes.
I had the Bitcoin hoodies. Now that I remember, I think it was bitcoinmerch.com. I've had the Bitcoin hoodies. Those were dope. I had the Bitcoin shirts. Those were dope. and the hoodies were my favorite. But it was summertime and probably wasn't the best time to put them out, but they were selling. But I didn't sell them to make money. I just sold them just to be able to spread. It's part of spreading the gospel. So
Yeah, and we're trying to make look, like, I'm not gonna put in so much time and not, like, wanna make money, but at
yeah,
the same time, like, it's nice that when people wear Bitcoin merch, they're helping adoption. I know people get, like, all hung up on OPSEC stuff, which we do have a collection on the site called OPSEC that doesn't say Bitcoin, or but it's like Bitcoin, Bitcoiners will know what it is, but it doesn't say the word Bitcoin on it or have the Bitcoin symbol. But I just think when you're out and you're wearing some Bitcoin shirt and people's like, oh, what's that mean? Like, what is that? It's good for adoption. And look, I want everyone to be happy. If you get a shirt, you don't like it, like, we'll, refund you, send, exchange it for the one you want. I want to see everybody happy and get what they want.
as long as I think it's a great conversation starter, um, and people that know is going to say something to you. So people that don't know, they're most likely not going to say anything. But if they heard about Bitcoin, if they know about Bitcoin, they see you wearing a Bitcoin shirt, they're gonna be like, "Hey, what's up,
Well,
bro?"
some of them are like weird things. Like one says like stack chain legend, one says Bitcoin psychopath, one has a weird math formula. It's just gonna make someone say like, "What is that?" You know. So it's cool. And what's really cool for me is when I see them in the wild. Like I'll go to a conference and see someone wearing one of my shirts. Like that's just like so cool. And I'll sometimes I won't say anything. Sometimes I'll go up to them and be like, "Nice shirt," and they'll say thanks. I'm like, "I made it." It's
Yeah,
pretty
that's
cool.
dope. Yeah, that's
Or
dope.
to meet up. Yeah, it's funny.
Absolutely.
So Eastside Tony said, "What is that Shopify?" Yeah, it's a Shopify based app. And I'm also really fortunate. So the reason this site even exists actually isn't because of me. My partner reached out to me about a little over a year ago and said, "Hey, I've been following you on like Twitter and Clubhouse, and I've been in the merch and apparel industry for like 20 years. I think you'd be a good person to do this with." So, but now it's become like my baby and my passion project, and he kind of like stepped aside and kind of lets me do my thing. But yeah, so I have a partner in this, and he's really smart and really awesome. Um, and it's good to have him to fall back on because, like I said, he's been in like the sports merch and apparel business for over 20 years. So that's good.
Do you think? Well, are you going to run ads when the Bitcoin bull cycle starts up?
So right now we don't run any ads at
I
this
know you
point.
don't. I know you don't.
How do you know?
You would be making a lot more sales if you did. I'm
Yeah,
just
but the
in general.
well, you
I
don't well, you
just
don't
I
know how
just
much
guessed.
you don't know how much sales we're making.
No, no, no. I'm just busting your chops.
No,
I don't know anything.
no, it's very expensive advertising these days. Once Apple kind of cut off Google and Facebook from all their like private data sharing shit, it made it very difficult to target people, and the cost, like, it would cost us 50, $60 to acquire one customer. And it doesn't really make sense right now. Maybe during a bull market it would make more sense. Um, but yeah, it's all basically word of mouth, me posting on Twitter, and luckily for me, I know more a lot of well-known Bitcoiners in the space. So I send them stuff with no strings attached. I never say where the stuff and like post about it. Like I want to like get merch out to people, and if they want to post, feel free, and it's great like marketing for us when other people are wearing it.
Absolutely.
So
Free promo. Are you
yeah.
marketing? So I'm pretty good at I do ads on Facebook. I'm actually just now dabbling for my brand new brand. I'm actually dabbling into TikTok ads, which is dope because a lot of people are on TikTok. And then also I haven't done Twitter ads, but I'm sure that'll be probably something that you could target more Bitcoiners in general a lot more easier. But I mean, that's a topic for another subject. Just look into those things, bro. You can always adjust, and you can do the data sets, and if you're spending too much on ads, then you can adjust and see and adjust your market, right? And you can also adjust your how much you're paying for those ads and stuff. So if you need help with that, reach out. Let me know. I run ads for my business, and I do pretty good. So if you ever need help, let me know. I'm
No,
gonna
it's really good to know. It's really good to know.
absolutely. I'm gonna post this video right now on Instagram. So say
Sweet.
hi. And
I already retweeted it, so
no, I
hopefully.
mean I want you to say hi to my people on Instagram real quick
Oh,
and tell them to come check out this video. 3 on YouTube. 2 and tell them about your merch. 3, 2, 1.
what's up, everybody? This is Neil Jacobs. I am on Bitcoin Chris's show, and we're almost done taping, but you got to come check it out. Had a really fun time. We talked a lot about my journey. We talked about Chris's journey and just like life in general. Shot the shit about kind of how we met each other. Feels like forever ago, and yeah, and also I was just talking about my merch company, FOMO21.com. Check it out. And if you use the promo code BTC Chris, you will get 23% off for the next 24 hours. So yeah,
Woo!
check it
Let's
out.
go. That was
How was that?
perfect, bro. What's up, everybody? That was perfect. That was perfect. And I just shared that to my IG, and I'm going to share it to my Facebook as well. But yeah, man, we've been on here for an hour and 20 minutes. I'm going to go ahead and let you go. I got another live in an hour with the Jump Out Girls. So shout out to them. Excited for that live.
So wait, who are these girls?
The Jump Out Girls are two girls that are in Bitcoin, right? They live in Atlanta, and they're pretty dope. I met them through, I think, Bitcoin Zay and the Gentleman of Crypto. Actually,
I
I
want
don't even
to.
remember how I met them. I have to figure out how I met them, but I found them on Twitter, and they're cool. They're two girls. They're in the
I want to
Bitcoin
pop. I
space.
want to pop on the stream later and say hello.
Pop on, bro. I'll send
Maybe.
you the link.
Maybe. Yeah, I don't know if I'll be able to, but if you want to send me the link, maybe I'll
Yeah, I'll send you
crash
the
in at
link.
some
You can
point.
hop in, bro. It's no big. We all family, bro. If you want to hop in, you can hop in, bro. No biggie. But yeah, I'll be on later on. It's at 9:30. We'll start. So you got an hour. So take your time, relax. I know you
All right.
probably
Yeah,
gonna.
I'm not even home yet. I don't know. We'll see.
Yeah, no problem, brother. I want to thank you for coming on. Any last words before we let you go, and then make sure you give uh, your socials so people can follow you, and I'll put that
Yeah.
in.
So you can find me at Neil Jacobs, NeilJacobs on Twitter. Also Neil Jacobs on Clubhouse. Also Neil Jacobs with a little underscore on Instagram. And yeah, my parting thoughts is, uh, to quote Matt Odell, stay humble, stack sats, and be patient, build conviction, and just have confidence in what you believe in, and don't let the naysayers get you down.
Absolutely. Much love to you, man. I appreciate you, man. Much love, and thank you for coming on. And I'll be in touch. Make sure you keep shit posting, and I'll keep retweeting.
Thanks, man.
You take care. I'll
Thanks for
talk to you
having
soon.
me.
You're welcome,
All
brother.
right.
All
Bye.
right. So, guys, that wraps it up for the another episode of just chilling with Chris, right? Chilling with Bitcoin Chris. I don't really have a name for the shows that I'm doing. It's just live shows. Make sure you like, make sure you share, make sure you subscribe, make sure you follow Neil. Make sure you go to FOMO21.com and get your merch. I'm about to go shopping in a minute. Get my 23% off. Shout out to Neil for that, man. I appreciate you. Shout out to Swan. Make sure you guys go to swanbitcoin.com/Bitcoin Chris. I'm going to see if I can get a little bit more involved with Swan and the activities. So be on the lookout for some announcements coming up in the next week or two. I'm looking forward to being a little bit more hands-on with the Swan community and the Swan members. So hopefully we can make that happen. If not, it's all good, all love. But again, before we before we part, you want to know how I got this beautiful long hair, right, guys? You want to know how I got this how I got this nice, beautiful skin, right? You guys want to make sure that you log on to collapop.com. Collagen is where it's at, guys. Go get you some collagen, or girls or guys. It's for girls and guys. It doesn't matter. You can take it if you're a guy or a girl. Go to collapop.com, and what you can do is use the code 35 and you'll get 35% off. Collagen is very good for your skin, hair, nails, and it's also it's a protein that your body loses as you get older. So you'll actually be able to, start to look younger. It also has biotin in, which also helps your hair. And then this is also infused with a fat burner. So this will help you burn excess fat. If you guys or girls want to burn, any extra fat. And again, That's going to be colorpop.com. And this is Bitcoin Chris checking out. I uploaded a video about 40 minutes before I did this live. So make sure you go check out all the videos from previous posts on my YouTube channel. And with that being said, see you guys in about an hour. Peace.